In 3D, we use relationships for security. You're using these relationships to make you feel better about you. Whereas in 4D, we have realized that we are a deeper self than we thought we were. And we've realized there's a bigger thing going on here. There's a bigger picture, and I'm actually a spiritual being evolving through this pathway of this person that I've taken on, this avatar, this pathway of evolution I find myself in. And as such, I'm using a relationship as a mirror for my own growth, rather than to prop myself up and keep up this game that I am this separate being on this planet all alone, and I'm insecure and I'm lacking everything, help. Rather than keep up that charade, instead putting that down, and I'm realizing who I really am, and I'm finding this deeper energy of love within me, and I'm wanting to grow more and more and more into that love, and I'm wanting to be able to express it more and more and more on the earth plane. Therefore, I'm going to use relationships as mirrors, because that helps me understand myself more, and it brings me closer and closer to the deepest expression of love that I can possibly find. What do I mean by using a relationship as a mirror? I'm sure heaps of you understand this, because it's not a new concept, is it? It's been going around and around. And I think it's easy to overlook the simplicity of using a relationship as a mirror. In fact, it took me years to really get that because the ego makes it so complicated. You want to dig in and find all these things that aren't even needing to be found, whereas it's actually super, super simple. And if we just keep it simple, we can use it for the powerful tool that it is. So this is how a higher consciousness works in this respect of seeing a relationship as a mirror. So we are always looking through this lens. And this lens is our belief system. It's all the things that have happened to me this lifetime and what they've meant to me, and the beliefs that I've taken from them, the traumas and what they've made me think about myself, how other people, I've seen them behave and now what I expect them to do, all the labels I've put on things, all the different ways that I see the world. That is my lens. So I am always looking through that. And it's like a fish swimming in water. A fish can't see that water. It's not there, is it? It's taken for granted. It is just swimming around and seeing other fish and eating things, but it doesn't actually realize it's swimming in something. It's water. There's water. It's always looking through water, but it can't see that. And so this is like with us. We're always looking through these belief systems. We know that that's a tree, that's that person that really annoyed me a year ago, and they've got that habit. I'm going to see that. There's that book that I read. I know what that's got in it. I know everything, what that means. I know, the main meaning of that book. I've got that all, I understand. That's my belief, right? I'm always looking through this. And so all I'm seeing is myself. All I'm seeing is what I've already decided is real through my belief system. But we can't see that. We can't actually see that until somebody reflects it to us. So this is what we say to ourselves in order to receive the gift of the reflection. We say, how this person makes me feel, or how I feel around this person, how this person makes me feel, is actually how I feel about myself. So let's say that again, just to let it sink in, because it's super simple. Let's not let the ego complicate it. How this person makes me feel is actually how I feel about myself. So this is how the 4D, the higher consciousness person is operating, because they understand there isn't an out there. I'm only seeing through this. I can only see through what my belief system is. And when somebody comes into my life and upsets me, then whatever the feeling is that they've made me feel is actually how I feel about myself. So we flip it around. So instead of me disowning my belief system and going, oh, you are awful, you offended me, you're a bad person, and blaming it on them, which keeps us powerless because we don't receive the gift of the reflection. Instead, we say, wow, that person made me feel like that. So that's actually how I'm feeling within. That's actually how I feel about myself. And then we can look at that. Wow, I've got that belief. I'd never noticed that. So now, do I want to hold on to that belief, or do I want to find a higher way of looking at that? So let's look at an example of this. So if you think, oh, my mum has never approved of me doing that kind of work, and if I step out and do it even more, she's gonna not appreciate me. She's not gonna like me. She's gonna give me a hard time. She's gonna, reject me to some degree. Okay, so I, in this moment, am projecting my stuff onto my mum. I'm saying, she doesn't approve of me. She's going to reject me if I do this thing. So let's flip it around, because what I'm thinking about that person, how that person's making me feel, is how I actually feel about myself. So if we flip it around, I am not approving of myself. I will reject myself if I step out and do this. So now that you can see that it's you that's doing it, then you can do something about it. Rather than blaming it on poor old mum and keeping yourself stuck, now you can go, okay, I'm the one who needs to just make a little tweak here. So what if I just completely approve of what I'm doing? What if I fully support myself in that? What if I find a way of looking at it that helps me to just feel completely and utterly okay with it? Do you know what will happen then? Mum will be flipping fine with it. Mum will applaud you. Mum will get in behind you and support you, because you are. And she was always a reflection of your beliefs. Everybody in your life, the cast of characters, we like to call it, around you, that have come attracted, to your energy, like they are reacting to your belief system all around you. The cast of characters in your life will always reflect, what you're thinking about yourself. And as you shift your perception of yourself and your belief system, the cast of characters around you shifts to accommodate that. It was you who didn't accept you. It was always you. It was never them. It was never them in the beginning. This is a very tricky way that the ego keeps us limited and keeps us feeling separate and stops us from expanding into a joyous, beautiful expression of light.